I want to start off this video by asking a very simple question. Are you a fan of Fable, and do you want it to come back? If the answer to that is hell yeah, then I have some awesome news to share with you, because according to Eurogamer and their sources, not only is Microsoft bringing back the action RPG series, they also revealed the developer behind it. What is going on, guys? Randall Thor 19, the man with the million, back again with another video. And oh man, 2018 has been a leaky one for Microsoft. Every single day you wake up, you hear these rumors, leaks, and speculation. One day it'll be about the Elite Controller version 2. The next day it might be about Perfect Dark. The next day it's about a new IP from the Coalition. And today we have Eurogamer basically saying on their website that Microsoft is bringing back Fable, and the developer behind it is none other than Playground Games. And if you don't know who Playground Games are, they have made Forza Horizon 1, Forza Horizon 2, and Forza Horizon 3. And I believe currently Forza Horizon 3 is the highest rated exclusive on the Xbox One. It is a pure racing masterpiece. Now, yes, they aren't the original studio that created Fable. That would be Lionhead. And we all know what happened with Lionhead. They didn't actually put it out, but they were working on a free-to-play version of Fable called Fable Legends. That was in beta. And a couple years ago, Microsoft pulled the cord on that and canceled the project before it could see the light of day. And people were worried that we had seen the end of the Fable franchise. Fable 3 came out in 2010, so it's been 8 years since we've seen a proper Fable. Granted, Fable The Journey, the Kinect game, came out in 2012, but not a lot of people even played that one. So it's been 8 years since a brand new Fable, and people were worried if they would ever see a return of the action RPG that a lot of Xbox gamers love. I really enjoyed Fable 1. Fable 2 was a little bit stepped down, and Fable 3 wasn't very good. And by that point in time, I kind of wanted Lionhead to do something different. But you know what? I am excited about the idea of Playground Games taking over the franchise. So what they say in the article, what Eurogamer is saying, is that they have heard that a new Fable is planned as a story and character-focused open-world action RPG. A significant investment in its development is also planned, with some 200 people set to work on the game at Playground's newly established second office in Leamington Spa, Warwickshire. Now, there were rumors, well, not necessarily rumors going around, that Playground was working on a brand new IP, that it was going to be multi-platform. They opened up a second studio specifically designed to make this game. Well, it turns out that the game that they were making wasn't a multi-platform game, but rather this new Fable. And I would love to learn more about what exactly went out behind the scenes, because the rumors were going around that, Phil had passed on the game, that it was multi-platform. But today we learned from Eurogamer that's not necessarily the case, and they are working on Fable. So I do wonder if that new IP that they were working on was now just kind of turned into Fable 4. And that's another thing. I'm kind of curious to see what direction they take this. Is it going to be Fable 4? A sequel to the last game, or is it going to be something brand new? And according to the article here, it's basically, they say it's going to be a clean break. This new Fable is seen as something of a clean break, and while all Fable Legends assets were backed up after Lionhead shut down, the expectation is Playground is starting from scratch as it bids to revive the Xbox exclusive franchise. Now, this is going to make a lot of Xbox gamers happy. They say that a significant investment is going on into this game, and I wonder what they're going to go for. Are they going to return to that British humor? I would imagine so. It is a UK studio, and I would imagine it would have a lot of that humor. But this is a post-Witcher 3 world, post-Horizon Zero Dawn world. In fact, I would probably think this game is going to resemble more Witcher 3 than previous Fables. I'm curious to see what the game is actually going to look like. That is I kind of have outgrown maybe how Fable 1 looked. I want the game to look more like realistic. And if they can use the template that Witcher basically perfected, this could be something really special. Now, I do have a couple kind of questions and concerns. I love Playground games, right? Forza Horizon 3 is the best racing game I've ever played. They've proven their pedigree when it comes down to making racing games. However, a racing game is a completely different type of game to an open world action RPG. I know they've gone out and they hired a lot of talent. They specifically got the guy who did the combat design from Hellblade, from Ninja Theory. They've hired somebody from Rockstar North who worked on Grand Theft Auto and Grand Theft Auto Online. They've also hired somebody who worked at Kojima Productions, who worked on the Metal Gear games, like Metal Gear Solid 5, which is an open world game. So it seems like they're amassing the talent that is needed to make an open world RPG. I'm just a little bit cautious about being like, yeah, this game is going to be a masterpiece, because they've only ever done a racing game. And I wonder if that factored in to their decision of doing Fable for Microsoft. They're not owned by Microsoft Playground, that is. They are an independent studio. And I'm curious to see if they had also shopped their new IP to other publishers to get funding for their new game. Maybe other publishers were a little bit worried about investing a lot of money into a game that, has only been these developers at Playground have only made 3 racing games, and a open world RPG is definitely kind of outside the norm. So I wonder if that kind of led to Microsoft and Playground, since they have a very close relationship, being like, yo, if you make your new IP into Fable, that is something we can get behind. We'll properly fund the game, and you can have everything you can imagine, because we believe in we believe in the studio, basically. Now, the other interesting thing that Eurogamer says here is that this game actually, Microsoft's rekindled interest in the franchise is due to Sony's Horizon Zero Dawn. Now, we all kind of thought Fable would come back at some point in time. Microsoft had the opportunity to sell the IP. When they closed Lionhead Studios, they decided to keep it, which pointed to they probably wanted to do something with the IP down the road. Because you recall the 360 era, even some of the beginning of the Xbox One, it was Halo, Gears, Fable, and Forza. And Fable kind of fell off, and it just became Halo, Gears, and Forza. And I think they want to bring back Fable to the marquee list along with Halo, Gears, and Forza. But Eurogamer says that they heard Microsoft's rekindled interest in Fable was in part inspired by Sony's phenomenal success with Guerrilla Games' PlayStation 4 exclusive Horizon Zero Dawn. As of June 2017, Guerrilla's story-driven single-player open-world action RPG had sold over 3.4 million copies. And I know a lot of Xbox gamers like to downplay Guerrilla Games' success with Horizon Zero Dawn, saying 70 million consoles out there, only 3.4 million copies, that's not a great attach rate. But for a new IP from a developer who only made first-person shooters for a game that took 5 years, that's phenomenal result. And maybe the success of that game, the success of Witcher and other games like it have shown Microsoft there is an interest in an RPG, especially if you give it the right budget, you have the right pedigree making it. This could be something special. And I wonder how a lot of Xbox fans are going to take to the fact that basically Eurogamer is saying Fable's only coming back because of Horizon Zero Dawn. I know that might be a little tough pill to swallow for a lot of people. Now, the other big question you have to ask yourselves here, guys, is when is this game coming out? In the article, they state that this basically just started production. They go on to say, don't expect to play this new Fable anytime soon, however. We've heard it's early days in terms of development, with Playground currently staffing up the team from double digits to its triple digit target. So they want to get up to 200 people at full production, but they're not exactly there yet. So it's 2018, early 2018. It probably went in production late 2017 when they signed the deal. I'm starting to think at the earliest this is a 2020 title, but a more realistic date you're looking at is probably 2021, if not 2022. Keep in mind, these games, especially open world RPGs, take a long time to make, and Playground's only made 3 racing games. It took Guerrilla Games, who had made Killzone, 5 years to make Horizon Zero Dawn. And if they started in 2017, 5 years would be 2022. So then you have to wonder, is this game even going to be for current generation consoles like the Xbox One and the Xbox One X? Is this going to be maybe a launch game for Xbox 2? There's a kind of, that's what I'm thinking. Because as excited as I am to learn and hear that Fable's coming back, and how happy I am to learn that one of my favorite developers, Playground, is going to undertake this task, a little bit of my excitement has to be tempered for the simple fact that, geez, this game may be a long way away. You know, we're talking 2 years, 3 years, 4 years more than likely, so maybe next gen. But then at the thought of next gen Fable, with how that game could look, with how Forza Horizon 3 looks in 4K on the Xbox One X, man, I'm just salivating at the thought of what that game is going to look like, whether it's on the Xbox One X and Xbox One, or whether it's on a next generation console. But yeah, it's a game that is basically a long way away, and that's another thing you got to ask yourself is, man, what is with Microsoft not being able to keep secrets? There is no way they wanted anybody to know that this game was coming out, that it was working on. We are years away from this game being a real thing, even if there is maybe a vertical demo that was going around when, you know, Playground was pitching the idea to Microsoft and other developers, or other publishers rather. They can't have liked the fact that this slipped out, because now people are expecting it. Now people are going to say, listen, we know you're working on Fable. We want to see it at E3. And if they don't show it at E3, people are going to get disappointed. But Phil's been on record saying he doesn't like to show stuff too early. And this game just started production. And like I said, it may be 3 years, 4 years out. What do they have to really show if they just started working on the game like recently? Are they just going to put together a CGI trailer and be like, yeah, you know what, Fable, we're working on it. Here's a CGI trailer. It'll come when it's done. But then you're going to have people saying Microsoft shouldn't show games early. Look what happened to Fable Legends. Look what happened to Scalebound. You know, it's a tough position to be put in, and that's because they can't stop the leaks. Every single day, more information comes out about what Microsoft is planning. You know, the future of the Xbox brand, the games they're making, the accessories and controllers they're doing, and all that stuff. And it's got to really bother them, because these companies like to plan and reveal things on their own schedule. No, it's great as, you know, as a fan to learn what they're doing. And I'm the type of person who loves to read about rumors, leaks, and speculation. I love talking about this stuff. I love putting my opinion out there. But for the people at Xbox and Microsoft, they are probably hating this. And I've seen people say, well, you know, this has to be a controlled leak. Let me tell you, no, this is not a controlled leak whatsoever. They don't want this information to come out because the game is so far from being finished and probably being sewn off. I don't know if Microsoft's going to have to change their plans with E3 or not, but it is interesting, though, that Microsoft did comment to Eurogamer and said they do not comment on rumor or speculation, but in regards to the Gears of War new IP thing, they were quick to point out that the Coalition is exclusively working on Gears, although I guess maybe it's because Storylab was an official Microsoft vendor, they had to say something. This is just rumors right now, although I've heard the same as well. We know that Playground is working on this Fable game. And the other thing is like the other leaks that came along with it from the Reset era, the guy who went through the API or whatever and got all the list of supposed stuff Microsoft working on. The number one thing, the first one he said was that Fable's coming back. And here it is. Does that make the rest of the list seem true? Is there really a Perfect Dark coming? Is Forza Horizon 4, which is going to be made by this developer, Playground, that is rumored to be set in Japan. You have MechWarrior and a whole bunch of other rumors. Is this, because this seems to be true, does that lead more credence to those? I don't know about that. I mean, I have a feeling Forza Horizon 4 is basically going to be in Japan. I just don't know about a Perfect Dark or any of that other stuff. Although it is kind of cool to at least know Fable is underway. And that is from a developer that I really do like. And then you got to think, it's got to suck for ex-Lionhead developers. Lionhead's gone. This was their baby along with Peter Molyneux. And the fact that they're going to have to see the franchise that they started be picked up by a different studio, it's kind of got to suck. It's kind of got to be a little bittersweet. Although I am reading here in this article that, there are a lot of ex-Lionhead people going to work at Playground's new studio to work on the game. So you're going to have some Lionhead talent there. So big kind of news today. Fable is coming back. But who knows when it's actually going to come, 2020, 2021, next-gen Xbox or not. Let me know. Are you excited for this? Do you want to see what Playground Games can do with Fable? Let me know if you're excited. Let me know if you can't wait for this game to come out. And let me know, when do you think this game is actually going to release? Make sure you hit up the comments so I can check it all out. And if you enjoyed the video, make sure you hit that like button. Consider subscribing to the channel for more content. Hit the notification bell so you're always notified when I drop new videos. Make sure you guys share this out on social media, as it helps a lot and I would greatly appreciate it. And I just want to thank you guys for watching the video. It means a lot to me. And yeah, this one's a good one. I'm pretty happy Fable's back. And I'll see everybody in the next video. Later, guys.